The history of the Palace of Versailles. Welcome to our podcast. Today, we are going to talk about the Palace of Versailles. This palace is one of the most famous and beautiful in the world. It is located near Paris, France. Let's explore its history in simple English. The story of the Palace of Versailles starts a long time ago. In the early 17th century, King Louis XIII built a small hunting lodge in Versailles. This lodge was not very big. It was a simple building where the king could go hunting in the nearby forests. He enjoyed hunting and wanted a quiet place away from the busy city of Paris. The lodge was a peaceful place where the king could relax and hunt for deer and other animals. As time went by, King Louis XIII's son, King Louis XIV, became the King of France. Louis XIV had big dreams for Versailles. He wanted to turn the small hunting lodge into a grand and impressive palace. The king thought that Versailles should be the center of the French government and the center of the French court. He wanted to show his power and wealth with a magnificent palace. In 1661, King Louis XIV started to make plans to expand and build the palace. He hired many architects, builders, and artists to work on this huge project. The construction began in 1668. The workers had to dig, build, and design a lot of new parts for the palace. They built large rooms, beautiful gardens, and many other features. The palace began to take shape and look very grand. The gardens of Versailles are just as famous as the palace itself. They were designed by a talented gardener named André Lenotre. The gardens are very large and beautiful. They have long, straight paths, large fountains, and lovely statues. The king wanted the gardens to be as impressive as the palace. People from all over the world visit the gardens to see their beauty and enjoy a peaceful walk. The Palace of Versailles was not just a place for the king. It became the center of French life. Many nobles and their families moved to Versailles. They lived in apartments around the palace. Life in Versailles was very elegant and luxurious. The palace was filled with rich decorations, beautiful art, and fine furniture. It was a place where the king held grand parties and important ceremonies. One of the most famous rooms in the palace is the Hall of Mirrors. This room is very large and has many mirrors on the walls. The mirrors reflect the light and make the room look even bigger. The Hall of Mirrors was used for important events, such as royal ceremonies and grand celebrations. It is one of the most beautiful and famous rooms in the palace. The French Revolution started in 1789. This was a time when many people wanted to change the way France was governed. During the Revolution, the Palace of Versailles was no longer used as a royal residence. The king and queen left Versailles and moved to Paris. The palace was abandoned, and it fell into disrepair. It was not in good condition for a while. In the 19th century, the French government decided to restore the Palace of Versailles. They wanted to fix and protect the palace so that it would not be lost. Many parts of the palace were cleaned and repaired. The goal was to preserve its beauty and history. Today, the Palace of Versailles is a museum that attracts many visitors from around the world. People come to see the grand rooms, beautiful gardens, and learn about French history. The Palace of Versailles is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This means it is considered a very important part of world history. It is a place where people can see the rich history and culture of France. The palace also hosts special events and exhibitions. Visitors can enjoy the beauty of the palace and learn about its fascinating past. In summary, the Palace of Versailles has a rich and interesting history. It began as a small hunting lodge and was transformed into a grand palace by King Louis XIV. The palace and its gardens are known for their beauty and splendor. Although the palace faced challenges during the French Revolution, it was restored and is now a major historical site. The Palace of Versailles continues to be an important symbol of French culture and history. Thank you for listening to our podcast about the Palace of Versailles. We hope you enjoyed learning about its history. If you ever visit Paris, be sure to see this amazing palace and experience its beauty for yourself. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel.